So yeah, I started boxing in 2018, and from there, I became obsessed with the sport. I was never actually allowed to compete in the amateurs because people thought I was crazy for doing it anyway because I have a severe heart disease. I didn't let that stop me though. I used to watch like Kimbo Slice fights in his backyard, so I gathered up people myself. I found it fascinating to take a sport into my own hands, no corrupt judges, just good fights, all out war, and brawls. Win, lose, or draw, I still showed up and I never ever ducked a fight.
Hypertrophic cardiomyopathy usually affects your left ventricle by thickening its walls. This happens because your heart muscle cells grow bigger. In some people, scar tissue may form between the muscle cells over time. Even though your cells are bigger, your heart stays about the same size.
I walked out the Caden fight with a cut near the eye, a busted lip. I'd say that was my toughest fight. Like, that was real beef. Like, we did it on 1 week notice because he called me out. And most of my fights were like 3 rounds, 8-ounce and 10-ounce gloves. And, like, I was still in high school, too.
But, like, he ain't do nothing. So, like, Yesify, you want to talk about this shit, like, fight me in person.
I didn't exactly win my first 2 fights, which my first fight was with Javier, who's a heavyweight. December 2019, I fractured my 2 middle knuckles from punching too hard in the third gens rematch. Then COVID came, so I took 3 years off from boxing and made a return early 2022 against a heavier opponent, got my 6th win, and then it all went to shit. I was later on introduced to this fighter who was 7-0 at the time, Barry Slick, who has never been beaten before, and I was out of shape, and I started going on a losing streak after this fight happened. For my documentary, I'm going to ask Barry Slick some questions. How did you meet me?
I met him because I had a friend, Dan, and Dan recommended me this person named Jens. He showed me this video of him fighting Yesify, and Dan was like, you should add Jens to this group. So I agreed to it. Jens was talking about, I want to add this one guy over here.
So I accepted to fight anyone he had because I didn't have an opponent. And yeah, that's pretty much how we met, and I started training with Terry ever since.
With Yesify, I think Yesify is more a fighter than any of the other people I went against, because he actually went against these wars with these other people, and he had a heart, something wrong with his heart, and he still made it through that. Yep. And I think Yesify is even more a fighter than me.
Oh, than you?
Yeah.
So I went the distance with Barry Slick since most people didn't, but he got the decision win, so I ended up taking another fight with a college wrestler by the name of Alex. I highly underestimated him. I was cocky. I didn't even think the possibility of losing. He had so much power that he ended up giving me a concussion, which that moment made me want to quit boxing for my safety. But anyway, I lost again. I lost my confidence and my ego, but I learned from it, and I became the best boxer I possibly could. And that's where we go to the Gerardo stuff.
Rising up and back on the street. I took my time, I took my chances. I went the distance, now I'm back on my feet. Just a man and his will to survive. So many times it happens too fast. You trade your passion for glory. Don't lose your grip on the dreams of the past. You must fight just to keep them alive. It's the eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight. Rising up to the challenge of that rival.
So fight day arrives. I think to myself, I have nothing to lose. So if today's my last fight, at least I gave it my all. I actually was quite nervous to fight this dude because he promised a KO would happen and he wouldn't go easy on me. Since I was coming off 2 losses, he was probably comfortable, but I thought if I looked happy to be there, it would make him question a little bit. So that's kind of why you see me smiling. So as the introductions are going on, I'm just like, I'm about to tear this dude up. So I had to believe it, and all that hard work and training eventually paid off when the fight happened.
Gloves? Now. Good? Hey. Nice. Round 2. Go.
So I won by decision, making my record 7 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw. This was a story about how a loser became a winner. I've been the underdog my entire life. That being said, I would like to announce that I will face Barry Slick in a boxing rematch this summer. So I will see y'all soon, and I hope you enjoyed this documentary. How did you feel about me punching Dorado in the back of the head?
Oh, well,
I'm a dirty fighter, I'm sorry.
I didn't know that Yesify would do that. I didn't know that. I wasn't expecting it.
Did Yesify use any of the training in that fight?
Oh, yeah, he definitely did.
I used my jab.
You see a different Yesify, a different technical Yesify.
But the guys he trains actually know boxing now, so I had to step up my game.